Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Sever7, and today we are taking a look at the Kansept Cybin, and that's with the ultimate goal of seeing if it's adding to your collection or your daily carry rotation. This was designed by Edgy Bladeworks, and the OEM for this knife is Kansept. Before we jump into it, I do want to say I appreciate the love and the support. The likes, the subscribes. You guys have been amazing. Please keep doing what you're doing, and I will keep doing what I am doing. Now, jumping right into it, we have this really, really nice bronze anodized frag pattern. And we do have that on both sides, and it's offset with this nice black anodized hardware matching pocket clip. We have T8 screws for the pivot, and then we have T6s for everything else. Kind of a bummer. I feel like I've been on a run lately of just stripping T6s like crazy, and it just sucks because then it's like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to call the company and get, some T6s sent out to me. It just bites. I've seen on some of their more recent models, in some of them they're doing T8s across the board. Even on some of their tenable knives, they're doing T8s across the board. Like I want to say the tenable Fermi is like all T8s. So I don't know. Maybe they just don't have enough of them. I don't know. But I wish they would get uniform with that. Just T8s across the board. Please, Kansept. And thank you. We do have a milled titanium. A little pokey, right? Just a little bit. Not too bad, but a little pokey. Milled titanium. Relatively deep carry, non-reversible pocket clip. As far as ergonomics go, fairly neutral handle. It does get slightly thicker as we go back, and it's got that slight taper down. So we do have a comfortable 4-finger grip. I wear large size gloves. You don't have necessarily room to choke up, but you can see I've got a good full grip and even a little bit of space back here if I needed to. So if your hands are a size bigger than mine, if you wear XL size gloves, you'll still be, as long as you don't have mega chubby fingers, you'll still be plenty comfortable on this. The knife feels relatively lightweight, despite being, I want to say right around, well, I'll have the measurement or the weight in a second. I have it written down. I just can't see it. It feels light though. Like this is not a cumbersome knife. As far as the balance, looks like we're slightly, I don't even want to say that. We're not even really butt heavy. No, we're about perfect. We're balanced right where our index finger is, and that's where you want to be. So as far as balancing goes, we are good, and we have no jimping, which is kind of a bummer. You don't really have, well, actually, that is about as far as you can go, but you can post up on that poon and go to town. I haven't tried it because I just thought it looked ridiculous, but now that I'm sitting here in this grip, yeah, you can kind of post up and go to town. So I guess that might have been why they didn't do jimping. It'd be nice if the poon was a little further back, but they were going for an aesthetic, right? I get it. This isn't here for functionality per se, but just know that you can get up here on it. Especially if your hands are a little bit bigger than mine, this is probably perfect for you. Now we do have this very interesting blade shape. I'm going to call this a harpoon sheep's foot. Harpoon because we've got the poon, and then sheep's foot because we have some belly, and the tip of the blade is below the center of the pivot. So as far as I'm concerned, harpoon sheep's foot. We have a nice flat ground stone washed blade. I think they did a great job with their stone wash. A lot of branding on the front of the blade. I think we could have done without. I think these numbers could have been tucked in the back. Had they just left their Kansept logo up here, that would have been fine. But we've got, the K1080A1 and the S35VN. And then on the back, we've got Maker's Mark. And this is a limited run. They have 3 variants, and all 3 variants are out of 300. So this one here specifically is 52 of 300. Not sure why this was a limited run. I don't know if they were gauging interest for it or what. But 900 is quite a bit, 300 of each version. So it's not even that limited. So I'm not really sure what the purpose of that was. Like if it was, 100 of each, then okay, that's pretty limited. I get it. But it's kind of like whenever we does like a limited run of 2,000 plus of a Civivi, it's like, that's not super limited. That's quite a few. Like that's not going to sell out right away. That's going to take a minute. So I guess I'm a little confused on that. These have been out for a while and they're still pretty readily available. In case I didn't say it, we do have a flat grind, and as stated on the front of the blade here, we are rocking S35VN. I did not see an HRC listed on their website, but S35, good toughness, decent edge retention, and excellent corrosion resistance. So, I mean, it's a great everyday user steel. As far as the detent goes, we have access to this blade window. We also have access to this fuller. That line goes all the way down. The fuller's not super, super deep, but I virtually don't have a nail on this finger, and I'm able to get it just with like the skin of my finger. So it's even though it's not deep, it's going to be plenty functional. The detent itself is medium, hovering medium light, but it's satisfying. It feels good. As far as acoustics, good acoustics on the way out, good acoustics on the way down. Nothing crazy, but overall, good acoustic experience. As far as the drop, a little shake shut, although I feel like, because this is not lubed up, at least not recently, I feel like if you were to put some KPL, whatever lubricant you use, I think we would kind of see that drop shut action, because this wants to be, I mean, it takes barely any encouragement. So if it wasn't drop shutting, it would be darn close to it. You can single shake shut it. But overall, the action on this is very nice. Lock bar access is great. They gave you plenty of room, and they gave you a little scallop there, so you can just reach in, easy disengage, easy drop, easy close. This is going to be lefty friendly. And I say that, and it's a non-reversible pocket clip, and it has an exposed, since it's a frame lock, but you can a little more leisurely rest on this pocket clip and flip it out. But you can also still kind of fall back on this fuller if you needed to. I'm not a lefty, so I'm making it look much harder than what it is. I want to say you can kind of come back here and post up pretty easily too. Yeah. So not reversible, but lefty friendly in the form of manipulation. It's not going to be too hard for a lefty to get the hang of this pretty easy. Now, overall length, you're looking at 7.59 inches with a blade length of 3.29 inches and a blade to handle ratio of 0.76 or 76%. A few size comparisons up against the Civivi Altis. Coming in about an inch shorter. We'll do the Real Steel Sylph. There we go. Coming in about the same. And the ProTech TR3 Integrity button lock is going to come in about an inch bigger than the Cybin. So this kind of gives you an idea of what you're looking at size-wise. Definitely not what I would consider a big knife, just shy of a full-size knife. Now, what's the price on this bad boy? And I don't think anyone has ever agreed with this, but this kind of, and I'm, all right, before I say it, not a copy, not nothing at all. This was this that did not copy off anything, but it reminds me slightly of like a budget Strix. And I say that because it's got the blade window and it's got this big pokey nose, kind of like the Strix does. So, like, in a way, if somebody was like, I really want the, Strix, I would say, well, there's a pre order coming up in the next, I think, week for a production version. But if you can't afford that, well, this might be kind of, if you squint your eyes at a distance, who knows? This might be a decent option for you. Now, the price on this bad boy is $168. 168. You're getting milled frag, bronze anodized, titanium scales. You're getting S35VN, and you're getting a stylish knife. I mean, you don't have to love the way it looks. You can hate it if you want to, but you can't say they didn't put the effort forth, because they absolutely did. And this is a utilitarian blade shade, right? We have some belly, we have a nice pokey tip. Despite all of the other kind of, gymnastics they did to get this blade shape together, the utility's still there, right? You can do your rocking cuts, right? Because you still have, enough room to be able to rock back and forth. Any piercing tasks, I mean, you can see how thick we are until we taper off into that nice thin tip. So it's going to have some robustness. I mean, all in all, would I carry this? Yeah, absolutely. Is this something I would collect? No, not particularly. And this design, while I love the Strix, this design doesn't necessarily speak to me. So I personally, I think it's a perfectly fine knife. Oh, the weight's 3.9 ounces. Well, I think it's a perfectly fine knife. I'm not clamoring to get it. It's not something I have to have. If this knife speaks to you, and you just want to know, like, hey, is this a good functional tool? Yeah, absolutely. If this knife speaks to you for $168, you're not going to be disappointed. If you get it at White Mountain Knives with that 10% off, code S7, shortest code in history, S7, that's going to drop you down to like what, 152? This is a lot of knife for $152. You're getting premium materials. But you're well under that $200 price point. Yeah, $152 isn't cheap, right? You can get a knife that's going to essentially perform the same tasks for you for 40 or $50. Pretty easy, right? 14C28N, aluminum scales or G10, maybe some micarta. But I could say this is a solid knife for the price point. And if you're looking at this knife and you're like, man, that is a sick looking knife, then yeah, absolutely. You got fidgety goodness, you got some acoustics. This knife does everything fine. Nothing incredible, but everything fine. They do have some different variants. They've got a smooth titanium variant, I know for sure. And then they might have a plain frag. Oh, no, they have a black frag. Yeah, black frag. So there's black frag with the Damasteel, or Damascus, not Damasteel, but they have the black frag with the Damascus. Then they've got this version, and then they've got the plain smooth titanium, which is probably the version I would spring for. I'm not a big fan of the bronze. So tell me, drop a line down in the comments. Is this something that you would carry? Is this something you would collect? How do you feel about it? The looks are kind of polarizing. Do you think it looks like a great value off-brand, twice removed Strix? Do you see any similarities, or am I crazy? If you like the video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe. And you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at SEVRSEVN. That's Sever7 at SEVRSEVN. And then something I've recently included in the description, only if you want to, right? Not monetized on YouTube, and the affiliate links are from Share Sale are transitioning to another company called Awin. So there's no way for me to get affiliate links right now, except for like the 2 that I have. That's why I've been recommending everybody the White Mountain knives, because it's typically the best price you can get. So with no way for me to monetize any of the work that I'm doing, I have a link to PayPal and Cash App. If you want to throw me $1 or 2 to help out with shipping, shipping's about $240 a month. So it adds up pretty quickly. Only if all of your bills are paid, you got a full grocery or a full refrigerator, you've bought your favorite knives, you have money set aside for Blade Show. If you happen to have a buck or two after that's all said and done, and you wouldn't mind donating to the shipping cause, that would be awesome. I appreciate you. Thank you so much if you watched up until this point. And until the next time, peace.